Hello students, Mr. Oza here. This is assignment number 4 of this coronavirus unit. Let's jump right in. So the directions for this assignment: first of all, watch this video. Excellent, you're already doing that. Secondly, read the article. The link is below in the description. And finally, you're going to complete the assignment over at my website, ozahlc.com. So today's article comes from fool.com. This is one of my favorite websites to read in my spare time. It's basically a website to provide you personal finance information as well as investing advice. So if you ever need help saving money, making money, investing your money, this is a great website where you can learn all about those things. All right, and here's the article. It has the headline, "Want a second stimulus payment? These 4 proposals are making their rounds in Congress. For 3/4 of stimulus recipients, their money is gone within 4 weeks." So as you may know, many, not all, but many Americans within the last few weeks have received a $1,200 stimulus check from the United States federal government. And so what we're going to do in this assignment is learn a little bit about the details of that stimulus payment and also look into 2 new stimulus payments that could be going out to Americans in the future. All right, so let's jump into quote number 1. And again, this is background information on the stimulus package that was already passed. So in an ideal scenario, single filers will receive the maximum of $1,200, with married couples filing jointly netting a $2,400 payout. Qualifying dependent children under the age of 17 can also add $500 per child to what a parent or household receives. Remember, that's qualifying dependents under the age of 18, under the age of 17, to what a parent or household receives. The key being that single, married, and head of household filers have adjusted gross income below $75,000, $150,000, and $112,500 respectively. Make no mistake about it, most Americans desperately needed this money. The problem is, it's simply not enough to cover their basic expenses, especially considering that reopening the economy isn't going to happen overnight. The American public clearly needs a second round of stimulus payouts, and a handful of lawmakers in Congress are taking note. So 2 details that I want to point out here before we move on. First of all, it says up here, I highlighted, qualifying dependent children under the age of 17 can also add $500 per child to what a parent or household receives. So if you're a dependent under the age of 17, then your household gets that extra $500, which is great. But there is no benefit for age 17-year-old people and older dependents. So, a lot of the students watching this video are probably not receiving any benefits directly from this stimulus package. And then in this second paragraph down here, basically saying that yes, make no mistake about it, most Americans needed this money. But the problem is it's simply not enough to cover their basic expenses. And the article goes into some more detail about how, this money is going to last maybe a month tops, usually in most cases less. So here is the second quote. Now this is one of the proposals for a new stimulus package, a second round of stimulus. So first up is the Emergency Money for the People Act, which is potentially the best known out of the 4 proposals. Introduced by Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, and Representative Tim Ryan, a Democrat from Ohio, the Emergency Money for the People Act would provide $2,000 in monthly income to single taxpayers and $4,000 to married couples filing jointly for up to 1 year. Single filers earning less than $130,000 and married couples filing jointly with less than $260,000 in earnings would qualify for this payout. Additionally, parents and households would be eligible for $500 extra per child with a cap of up to 3 children. One marked difference between this proposal and the CARES Act is that dependents age 17 and older would qualify for this stimulus payout. So 2 interesting details about this proposal that I'll point out. I highlighted them here. So first of all, it increases the monthly benefit to $2,000 per person, or $4,000 to married couples, which is a $800 increase from the original stimulus package of $1,200 per person. And it's also a monthly benefit, so this would continue on month to month until the pandemic is over. Also, and this is the main reason why I selected this quote and this article in general, dependents age 17 and older would qualify for this stimulus payout. So that means a lot of the people watching this video, high school students, would qualify for the extra $500 per child. So those dependents who are age 17, 18, 19, people right around your age group would qualify for this stimulus payout. That's a big difference between this proposal and the previous stimulus package that already passed. By the way, this is a photograph of Representative Ro Khanna, the Democrat from California, who was one of the people to introduce this idea. All right, let's move on to the third quote here. Fourthly, there's the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, which would allow rent and mortgage payments to be legally canceled for a period of 1 year without adversely impacting a person's credit score. This proposal, introduced by Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, would allow the Department of Housing and Urban Development to create a fund that would be responsible for paying landlords and mortgage holders to cover their losses from lost rent and mortgage payments. So this is a really interesting proposal. Again, both of these quotes that we just talked about, these are just proposals. They have not been signed into law yet. But this would basically make it so that you don't have to pay rent or mortgage for the next year. It means that there would be a fund created to pay the mortgage companies and the landlords so that they would still get their money just from the federal government instead of from you. And this is a picture of Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman from Minnesota, who introduced this idea. Very interesting story behind her. She is one of the first 2 Muslim females in the United States Congress. All right, so you might think that these are really good ideas. Maybe you think that they're really poor ideas. But either way, I encourage you to contact your legislators or lawmakers to tell them, hey, this is a really great idea. I could really benefit from that extra money every month, or I could really benefit from not having to pay rent for a little while. Or maybe if you think that they're terrible ideas, maybe you'd want to contact your legislator to tell them not to support it. So this is an interesting website you can check out. It's called govtrack.us. You put in your address information down here, and it makes it easy for you to contact your representatives and senators. So if you feel strongly about these proposals, then please go onto this site and contact your senators and representatives and tell them what to do. They work for you after all. So definitely a great way to participate in your government, especially when there's a lot of money at stake. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit, you can head on over to ozahlc.com and get this assignment done. You're going to log in using your first name and the first letter of your last name as your username, and the password is oza211. Here is the new assignment, week 4, coronavirus and economic stimulus packages. Here are the last 3 assignments if you need to complete those as well. All right, only 3 questions on this assignment. Here's the first question. Please answer the following questions in a short paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences and use a quote from the article as evidence to support your answer. What were the main benefits of the first stimulus package? So this is talking about quote number 1, the stimulus package that was already passed and gives many, not all, but many adults in the United States $1,200. Did most people consider this payment to be enough, or did they need more? And finally, were there any benefits for dependents age 17 and older? Spoiler alert, no. No, and that was something that a lot of teenagers and younger adults had a big problem with, is that they are not seeing any benefits from this stimulus package, and some people would say that they need the most help, especially with paying for expenses like college. Here's the second question. Please answer the following questions in a short paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences, and again use a quote from the article as evidence to support your answer. What are the basic benefits of the Emergency Money for the People Act? This is the one that was, remember, it's just a proposal so far, but this is the one that would give many adults $2,000 per month. Do dependents age 17 and older benefit from this proposal? Again, spoiler, yes. In this proposal, the dependents age 17 and older would qualify for the $500 extra benefit. And do you support this proposal? Why or why not? And here's the final question. Again, short paragraph, three to five sentences, and use a quote from the article as evidence to support your answer. What are the main benefits of the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act? Pretty big hint right there, just in the name of the proposal itself. Who introduced this proposal? You can Google her name and read up a little bit about her. She was born in Somalia. Interesting story of her coming to the United States. And finally, do you support this proposal? All right, that's going to do it for the fourth assignment. My contact information is in the description below. Please get in touch with me if you need any help on this assignment or any of the others. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next week.